Good morning. Come on in, come on in. Come on in. Welcome, welcome. We've got the Path to Meditation Mastery students. We've got the Meditation for Female Physicians group and our friends on YouTube. Good morning, Janelle. So good to see you here. If you're here live, please say hello in the comments or good morning so I know you're here. If you're watching the replay, put in hashtag replay and whatever takeaway that you have from our morning musings. Today is Wednesday already, hump day. For those of you joining us for the very first time, I'm Dr. Disha Phillip, cardiologist, which is one role I play, who deals with all matters of the heart, and the founder of the Path to Meditation Mastery. And what I love to do, I've taken quite a circuitous path, but right now I am connecting with my physician sisters. For all of you who have been stressed out, overwhelmed, burned out, or just looking for a non-religious spiritual path to kind of hello, Facebook. Okay, I think that's Rebecca, but it says Facebook user, but it says Good Morning Meditators. Anyways, but for those of you who are maybe, good morning, come on in. But for those of you who maybe, from a religious standpoint, have, I ask people all the time in my social histories, like, oh, do you have a spiritual practice? And people will be like, oh, I was raised Catholic, I don't go to church, or oh, I was raised Methodist, but not really. So like a lot of people will see that, and what I want to address actually is that meditation is not a religious practice. When I think of religion, I think of kind of like lots of laws and rules and do this, don't do that. And I guess there are different aspects of that. But fundamentally, in my opinion, that when you look at all the big, great wisdom traditions of the world and religion, there's a fundamental belief in love. And so meditation, if we're talking about prayer, right? When we often think of that when it comes to religion, right? I'll say praying is talking to God and meditation is listening. But meditation really complements any kind of practice that you may have. And you don't have to have a religious practice to meditate. And so there's so many different aspects of what meditation really is. And I'm doing a masterclass on Sunday morning, 11 a.m. Eastern. Make sure you register. And we are going to be talking about how we can get back our energy, our enthusiasm, get out of those low energy places and get back to our true authentic selves so we can thrive rather than just survive, right? Surviving is good. It's good. But good morning, Christine. Wonderful to see you here. Oh, it's been a long time. Thank you for joining us. But when we're talking about thriving versus surviving, yes, surviving, of course, is good. Many of us survive cancer, survive an ailment, survive a crash, survive a tragedy, right? And which is, of course, necessary, right, to live. But our souls did not come into this body to survive. Our souls came into these bodies to thrive. And what thriving looks like can be different for each and every one of us. And what is it for you? What does it look like for you? For me, thriving looks like health. It looks like love, being able to hug my children and my family. Thriving looks like compassion, being able to serve the people that I'm coming into contact with every single day and to see them through the eyes of compassion. I get the privilege, and many of us as physicians get the privilege of doing that for our patients, whether in the hospital or in an office setting or wherever it is that we are taking care of them. It's an opportunity to connect, to have compassion, to uplift, and to give hope, and to remind people of their truth. All right. So I love chit-chatting about all this stuff. That's why I'm here every morning. All right, June 29th, let's give some messages out here. This is a good one. Let me recognize the value of my inner resources and use them accordingly. Let me recognize the value of my inner resources and use them accordingly. It's not saying, let others recognize the value of my resources. It's saying, let me recognize the value of my inner resources and use them accordingly. You know, it's so very important. Maybe when we're working, maybe we're an employee somewhere, that we recognize our own value versus constantly looking outside of ourselves to be appreciated. Of course, like as an employer, it is important to value your employees. But if you're the employee and you're always looking for somebody to give you that pat on the back, right? Or I know that as an employee, I've often been like, everybody's really quick to judge and complain and all of that, right? Where's my thank you, doctor, for doing the work you do every day, right? And it's amazing because sometimes when I might get a card from a patient or, something like a card or a message, and it's incredible, like how much it lifts me up because it's so unexpected, and I'll keep the cards on my shelf in my office and I'll want to look at them sometimes, and they are a wonderful thing. And I don't necessarily, or many of us don't necessarily get that from our boss or from the people who we work for, right? It's kind of like, well, what did you do? Did you do it right? Have you done enough? Have you made enough RVUs? Have you worked hard enough? Right? Many of us as doctors, we get a lot of that. But here's what's important to understand, and I say this to you as much as I'm saying it to myself, is that my value is not in my RVUs. My value is not in how many times my boss says, hey, you did a great job today, right? My value is not in them coming to me and saying, hey, I noticed that you've been working super hard. Why don't you take a day off? My value, just as your value, isn't just you being you, and it's just in me being me. And I have to recognize my own value of my inner resources, that of me being a loving, peaceful, compassionate soul. And then use that energy to propel every thought, word, and action. So the value doesn't come from outside of me. It comes from inside of me, and then I share it. And when we make decisions and take action from that place, we can't really go wrong. Because if we're sitting there waiting for the whole world to offer life up to us the way we want it on a silver platter, we're going to be waiting a long, long time, right? And so it's so important for us to recognize our own value. And you are worthy just by being here. That's it. Nobody else has to make you worthy, has to make you a valuable soul. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. June 29th, ask and it is given. You now remember that there is nothing that you cannot be, do, or have. And you remember that if your dominant intention is to feel good, and that if you try to make the best of where you are, you must reach your natural state of joy. You now remember, because we've learned about the emotional guidance skill, we've learned about, hello, Amy, welcome back. Good to see you. You now remember that there is nothing that you cannot be, do, or have. And you remember that if your dominant intention is to feel good, which is different from, I don't want to feel bad. Two different energies, right? I want to feel good. I don't want to feel bad. Very different vibrations, right? Okay, so if your dominant intention is to feel good, and that if you try to make the best of where you are, you must reach your natural state of joy. And so this reminds me of, so long ago, and I talk about it all the time with losing Ria, our first daughter 14 years ago. And it was such a dark time. And I did have, I don't know where it came from, but I did have the thought and the deep desire and feeling that something good had to come from this ridiculous experience that we were having. Something good had to come of it. I didn't know how. Come hell or high water, I didn't know how. I didn't know when. I didn't know why. But I knew that something good had to come from it. And so, if our dominant intention, no matter what is going on, getting a diagnosis, losing a loved one, losing our job, losing money, losing whatever, in the outside drama of the world. If our dominant intention, no matter what, is to feel good, and if you try to make the best of where you are, you must reach your natural state of joy, because it is the nature of your soul to be joyful. Okay. That is your truth. And if you're sitting here going, what the hell is she talking about? Look at what's going on in the world. How can we be joyful? Then you're in the right place. And I ask, do you want to be joyful? Is that your desire? And if it is, then you're in the right place. Because we have to take some baby steps. And it can be achieved as if that is your deep intention. Do you want to feel good? We can do it. Hang on one second here. Okay. We're going to do a Power of Love card because it is Wednesday. Compassion. You demonstrate the language of the heart by actively sharing and living love. Let's do it. Let's see here. Living by the principle of compassion is the healthiest mode of being human. Compassion asks that you go within your own heart and see the world from another's perspective. By placing your awareness on the feelings of others and understanding what motivates them, you will begin to empathize with them. Operating compassionately is the natural inclination of your soul. So allow yourself the time and space to display loving acts daily. It can be as simple as smiling to a stranger. Remember that some of us travel an easier road than others, but the most significant thing we all have in common is our decision to share this physical dimension together. It's no coincidence that all of us are here together. None. Compassion is also a gift you give yourself. When you're able to accept your own weaknesses as a part of a learning process, it's much easier to forgive others. It's often a difficult lesson, but once it's mastered, your soul evolves quickly. And I think for many of us, the first place to start is to have compassion for ourselves. Because that little inner roommate who's chit-chatting all the time and saying negative things to you, be kind. Be kind to yourself. Be kind. Talk to yourself as you would a small child. Because he or she is in there. And don't talk to yourself in a way that you would never speak to another human. I hear all the time, in women especially, where they'll say, oh, I feel gross, or I feel yucky, or I feel, oh, I'm just so sick and tired of being fat, or whatever. I mean, it's amazing the words that we say to ourselves. Have compassion. Have love. Don't say anything to yourself that you would never say to another human. Okay? Be gentle. All right, it's time to meditate. So go ahead and get comfortable wherever you are sitting. Close your eyes and visualize your heart in the center of your chest with two nostrils. One in the right ventricle, one on the left. And let's take a deep breath in for a 4 count, hold for 2, and exhale for 8 counts. And as we do this, really make an earnest effort to conjure up feelings of love, joy, passion, enthusiasm. Ready? Let's take a deep breath in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And breathe in. Really feel the vibrations of love, peace, this moment, presence. Breathe out, and as you breathe out, exhale those vibrations of love, joy, enthusiasm. Breathe normally. And we'll begin by asking ourselves 4 soul questions. Question 1. Who am I? Who am I? Second question. What do I want? What is my deepest desire? Allow anything at all to come to you in the form of a sensation, image, feeling, or thought. Third question. What is my purpose? How can I serve myself and others? Listen to what comes to you in the form of a sensation, image, feeling, or thought. Fourth question. What am I grateful for? What am I grateful for? Again, allow anything at all to come to you in the form of a sensation, image, feeling, or thought. Now we'll go ahead and start the repetition of our mantra. So for those of you who already have your personalized primordial sound meditation mantra, go ahead and start repeating that now. For everyone else, we'll use the mantra so hum. So we'll silently repeat so hum, so hum, so hum. If you'd like to pair it with your breath, you can inhale so, exhale hum, inhale so, exhale hum, so hum. Please continue repeating your mantra. I will keep the time and I'll let you know when it's time to stop. Enjoy your meditation. Please keep your eyes closed and stop repeating your mantra and rest. Rest in existence. Rest in awareness. Rest in consciousness. Just rest. And as we rest, I'll pronounce 4 intentions. Just repeat them silently and release them into being. Joyful, energetic body. Joyful, energetic body. Loving, compassionate heart. Loving, compassionate heart. Reflective, alert mind. Reflective, alert mind. And lightness of being. Lightness of being. Continue to rest. And when you're ready, you can slowly start wiggling your fingers and toes. Flutter open your eyes. Give yourself a big stretch. And bring your palms together to your heart center and give yourself a little bow of gratitude for bringing yourself here today to be here together. It's a very powerful energy to be here together. It exponentially increases our vibration. And so from this place together, let's give a blast of love and light energy out to all of our family, our friends, our community, our city, our state, our country, to all the countries on this planet, to every single brother and sister soul on this planet. And then from there, let's give a blast of that love and light energy out into the universe. And then from there, I visualize it being like this beam of light that goes and circles around and whoop, comes right back to us. I'll say namaste. The divine light in me sees and honors the divine light in you. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Check out the masterclass registration page, my female physician sisters, and sign up. And have a wonderful day. And I'll see you back here tomorrow. Sending you all so much love. Mwah!